In this PYQ series, we are going to solve the 10-year questions of every subject that exists. So stay tuned, and I'm going to begin with no wastage of time. So let's start with chemistry PYQ 2013 exam, which is like 11 years behind. So we are not doing 10 year, we're doing 11 year. So let's start without wasting our time. It says solution M contains, this is a spelling error, blue litmus red turns, it's okay, so it's not contains, it turns blue litmus red. What do we get from this line? Blue litmus red turns acid, so it must contain hydronium ions. Another solution O turns red litmus blue, which is basic, and hence contains OH negative ion, which is hydroxyl ion, and this is hydronium ion. So what is this concept? Any base turns red litmus blue and any acid turns blue litmus red, and an acid has no effect on red litmus paper and a base has no effect on blue litmus paper. When solution M and O are mixed together, the products will be, so M is an acid and O is a base. An acid and a base lead to a neutralization reaction, leading to the production of salt and water only. Only when you write the define of neutralization reaction, the very important thing to write is only, because otherwise it won't be a neutralization reaction. Only salt and water should be formed. A piece of magnesium was put into solution M, and what gas will be evolved? So M is a acid. So any active metal, magnesium is an active metal. How do we know that? We know the reaction, the reactivity series. How is it? How can you remember it? Kedar, Nath, Ka, Mali, Alu, Zara, Fike, Per, Swad, Pakata. Hey, I forgot what was Pakata, but I guess whatever that is, I'll check and tell you, or you can tell, but that's the whole mnemonic. Pakata hai. Mg is one of the top elements, so it's a very active metal. So active metals, when react with an acid, let's assume any acid, let's take HCl, leads to formation of a salt plus hydrogen. So what gas is formed? H2. Okay, let's move forward. Sodium, identify the gas evolved when sodium propionate is heated with soda lime. So this is the preparation of an alkane. But what alkane? What is propionate? You can just write the formula and you'll know what it is. So meth, eth, prop. So propionate will have three carbon atoms. So and it is in the form of this. So if two are already there, we need one more. So we will add a CH2 group here. If it was butane, it was butanoic acid, then we need four carbon atoms. So what we will write is CH3, COOH, and because we need two more, so we will write CH2, CH2. That will make our butanoic acid. So this is propionates, and we have, instead of that H, we have an Na, because it's sodium propionate, and when it is heated it will form an alkane. So it will form, soda lime is NaOH in the presence of CaO and 300 degrees Celsius, which I'm not going to write right now. It will give Na2CO3 plus, so you can see now this is gone, this is gone, this is gone, and this is gone. What is left? 2 C's are left, 3, 4, 5, 6 H's are left. So 2 H6. So what is being formed? This is ethane. So the answer is ethane gas. Potassium sulfite is treated by dilute HCl. This you should remember only, sulfite gives SO2. Okay. Then sulfur, when is treated with concentrated nitric acid. So just concentrated nitric acid. This is a very popular question. So you should just write this down. This is the thing they are asking. You should actually remember this coefficient because this is so frequently asked. So sulfur plus 6HNO3 gives H2SO4 gas. So a question comes, name a non-volatile acid formed by using a volatile acid. So HNO3 is a volatile acid and H2SO4 is non-volatile. So this is the reaction that you are going to give there. So H2SO4 H2O and SO2 are formed. Let me just try to balance it right here. 6HNO3. I am sure that on the reacting side, this is all we want. We have nothing in front of S and 6 in front of H. So we need 6 here also. Because we have nothing in front of S, here also we'll have nothing in front of S, so we will leave this. Except that if we want 6H, 2 are gone here. So 4 more are left. So I'll write 2 here. So 4 are formed here and this completes the 6th thing. And actually there is a problem here. This is not SO2, sorry, this will form NO2. So we need 6 NO2, so we'll write 6 here. Let's see if the oxygens are balanced. 6 3s are 18, so 4 here, 14 are left, 2 here, 12 are left, and 6 2s are 12 are here. So this is a complete equation. So if by this, what do we get? What is the gas released? NO2. So NO2 is the gas being released. A few crystals of nitric potassium nitrate are heated. It will give us, so this is an important question. This is a stable nitrate actually. Stable nitrate. For other nitrates, let's take an example of lead nitrate. PbNO3 that hold twice when heated gives PbONO2 and O2. But potassium and sodium nitrate are very stable nitrates. So they do not decompose fully. They only decompose to form KNO2 and O2. It will take me some time to balance this, but let's not do that right now. The gas formed is O2. When concentrated HCl is reacted with MnO2 plus HCl concentrated gives MnCl2, H2O and Cl2. Let's not write the full reaction, it will take a lot of time, but chlorine is the one being evolved here. So you should have a thorough knowledge of all reactions to know this question, and you do not need to mention all these reactions. Only the gas formed is required. Now we have to tell observations when concentrated sulfuric acid is added dropwise to crystals of hydrated copper sulfate. This is very, I'll stop writing now because it's much easier that way. So concentrated sulfuric acid is a dehydrating agent. So what will happen? The blue colored copper sulfate will turn into anhydrous white copper sulfate because the water gets removed. Copper sulfide when treated with HCl gives CuCl2, H2O and SO2. So we can give an observation for SO2 that it turns lime water milky but has no effect on acidified potassium dichromate and KMnO4, which is potassium permanganate. So it has no effect on that. That's what we will give for SO2. For CuCl2, copper chloride, I don't think there is a very specific observation, so we'll stick with the safe side, which is SO2's observation. Let's see what's there in the solutions here. I have the solutions also. So in the second, okay, so here a different question was there. We have misunderstood the question. Here sulfide is there. I mistakenly thought this was a sulfite. If it was sulfite, then only it will give SO2, but sulfide will obviously give H2S, which will give us Rotonic smell. Excess of chlorine gas when reacted with ammonia, which gives us NCl3 plus HCl. So NCl3 is a yellow liquid, greenish yellow. I'll say it's a yellowish liquid, yellow explosive liquid. Okay, let's move forward. A few drops of dilute HCl are added to silver nitrate, followed by the addition of ammonium hydroxide. This is the short question. What they're basically asking is, सबसे पहले AgNO3 में HCl डालो, AgCl plus HNO3 बनेगा. AgCl जब हमारा बन गया, अब AgCl में अगर हम ammonium hydroxide डालें, so it gets dissolved in excess to form diamine silver hydroxide. Okay, so which is azure blue, deep blue solution. So that's the observation. So we'll give a two-step observation actually, that a curdy white PPT is formed. PPT of AgCl is formed. Sometimes people miss to give the first observation. They directly turn to azure blue, deep blue solution. So we have to first tell that a curdy white AgCl PPT will be formed, after which when it is put in excess, then a deep blue solution will be formed. So we have to tell observation when electricity is passed through molten lead bromide. This is a very important question. Lead is deposited at the cathode and bromine vapors are seen at the anode. Bromine vapors are reddish brown. That could be a observation, and lead is a gray metal. So gray metal gets deposited. That's any of them you can give. Then we have to tell the suitable term for the following: a bond formed by shared pair of electrons with both electrons coming from the same atom is coordinate bonds. A salt formed by incomplete neutralization of an acid by a base will be a acidic salt, because acid was more and base was less. So base could not completely neutralize an acid, so some more acid was left, giving us an acidic salt. Okay, but if it was an incomplete neutralization of base by an acid, then it would be a basic salt. A reaction in which hydrogen of an alkane is replaced by a halogen is a halogenation reaction, but you have to give in bracket that it's a substitution reaction. So halogenation, and in the bracket substitution reaction. A definite number of water molecules bound to some salts are known as water of crystallization. An example will be, just now we did a reaction of concentrated, if I show you concentrated sulfuric acid to hydrated copper sulfate, CuSO4.5H2O was there. That 5H2O is a water of crystallization. Fifth is the process in which a substance absorbs moisture from the atmosphere to become moist and ultimately dissolve in the absorbed water is deliquescence. So this part, actually deliquescency, is removed from your syllabus. Not really removed, but the unit in which we commonly see the acid bases salts, last unit, this deliquescence part is cut. But this is there in this 2013 board question. We can't really rely on this because maybe the syllabus was different, but I'll tell you that I think it's good if you do these some questions that are not really mentioned in your book, so that in case there is somewhere that we have missed this question, we know it now. So process by absorbing and dissolving in the absorbed water is deliquescence. I guess hygroscopy is absorbing but not dissolving. So deliquescence is dissolving. We have to tell the chemical test to distinguish sodium chloride and sodium nitrate. So sodium chloride and sodium nitrate, this is a very important thing, and you should just, whenever you see this chloride ion and you have to differentiate, the first thing that you should have in mind is AgCl, because AgCl is the thing that helps you recognize a chloride ion, because AgCl forms a curdy white PPT. So we'll put AgNO3 maybe. AgNO3 will not react with sodium nitrate because nitrate, their anions are same, but AgNO3 will react with sodium chloride to produce AgCl, which is curdy white PPT. Then hydrogen chloride gas and hydrogen sulfide gas. So in this case also, because there is again a chloride ion, you can use AgNO3. So AgCl will be formed, and H2S, if you see, H2S plus AgNO3 gives HNO3 plus AgS or something. But let's say, just say कि AgCl की PPT will not be formed. यहाँ पर जो उन्होंने दिया हुआ है, that is given from our practical chemistry chapter, कि वहाँ पर दिया हुआ है कि lead acetate paper जो होता है, moist lead acetate paper, CH3COPB, इसको black कर देता है H2S because PBS is formed. Okay, but it does not change color in case of HCl gas. That's also fine. You can do that anyways. It's totally fine. You can also use PbCO3 maybe, or whatever is given in that particular chapter of practical chemistry. But what I like to do is chloride ion जहाँ भी हो वहाँ पर AgCl का दे दो. But this seems to be a specific question from practical chemistry only. Ethene gas and ethane gas में आप क्या दे दोगे? वहाँ पर अगर आप देखो ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री में सेलिना बुक विच आई फॉलो, उसके अंदर एक टेबल ही दिया हुआ है, द डिफरेंसेस बिटवीन इथीन एंड इथेन. इथीन आप दे सकते हो कि ब्रोमीन वाटर डीक्लोराइजेस because of the when treated with bromine water, and CCl4 decolorizes when treated on an ethane, because 1,2 dibromoethane is formed, but in ethane gas this is not formed. Then calcium nitrate and zinc nitrate solution, what will you do? This is from analytical chapter. If you see, calcium salts do not react with ammonium salts, because ammonia's rate of ionization is very less because it's a weak salt. Whereas zinc nitrate, not only does it react but also dissolves in it. in excess. So carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide is a very clear that it does. Carbon dioxide has no change on acidified potassium dicarbonate and KMnO4, whereas sulfur dioxide changes KMnO4 from pink to colorless and acidified K2Cr2O7 from orange to green. Okay, then among what is the most appropriate answer? Among the period 2 elements, the element which has highest electron affinity. So the best thing is to make a periodic table. Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, पोटाशियम कैल्शियम इतना ही आता है हमें. सेकेंड पीरियड इज दिस. यहाँ पर हाईएस्ट इलेक्ट्रॉन एफिनिटी, इफ़ यू नो कि हाईएस्ट इलेक्ट्रॉन एफिनिटी उस ग्रुप के नोबल गैस में होती है, बट हेयर आई डोंट सी अ नियॉन हेयर, सो वी हैव टू सी फ्रॉम दीज ओनली. लिथियम इज गिवन, carbon is given, chlorine is not of second group, so we'll remove that, and fluorine is given. So इसमें से जो सबसे यहाँ पर होगा राइट साइड में is will be the one, so fluorine is our answer. ठीक है. उसके बाद देखो, among the following compounds identify the compound that has all three bonds. This is a very important question, that is ammonium chloride. How? If you see NH3Cl, NH4Cl sorry, how was NH4 formed? देखो यहाँ से तो इसने कर लिया इसके साथ, wait I'll show you full only. ठीक है, ये तो बन गया NH3. So these are what? कोवलेंट बॉन्ड्स. तो कोवलेंट तो है इसमें. अब यहाँ पर आएगा, इसके दो होते हैं लोन पेयर, जो H को दे देता है एंड इट बिकम्स अ पॉजिटिवली चार्ज थिंग, है ना. तो ये आ गया अपना कोऑर्डिनेट डेटिव बॉन्ड. तो 2 टाइप्स तो आ गए. एंड क्लोरीन के साथ, बिकॉज अमोनिया इज दिस अमोनियम इज नॉन मेटेलिक radical and this will form, this will react with a sorry, I guess this is a little bit wrong. Let's wait a second. Yes, so I just misspoke this. Ammonium is a positive radical. Ammonia, because N and H are both gases and we assume them to be non-metals, then we think that it's probably a non-metal. But it's actually not, because we have got a positive ion due to this coordinate bond. So this is a positively charged radical, and chlorine is a negatively charged radical, being a gas. So what we see here is a ionic bond or a electrovalent bond. So we have 3 types of bonds here. So we get ammonium chloride. Identify the statement that is incorrect about alkanes. They are all hydrocarbons. This is correct. We have to find incorrect. The single covalent bond between carbon and, yes, alkanes have single covalent. They undergo both substitution as well. This is wrong. So we get this as an answer. Let's quickly complete. Which of these will act as non-electrolyte? Liquid carbon tetrachloride, because it is a non-polar compound. Even when liquid is added, when it is liquefied, or even if water is put, it will not ionize because it has only molecules. It is a non-polar covalent compound. Which of the following will not produce acid when made to react with water? What all things will produce an acid when made to react with water? For this has been a part of acid basis salt chapter, so I'll just open that for you and show you in the book. Yes, so here it is. These acidic oxides react with water to form an acid. So by action of water on non-metallic or acidic oxide, so we need an acidic oxide to form a acid. So let's now look at the options. Which of the following is not an acidic oxide? So CO2, अभी हमने देखा, it is there in the list also. NO2 is there in the list. SO3 is also there in the list. SO3 is there in, if you see sulfuric acid chapter also, SO3 plus H2SO4 gives us oleum, which further gives us H2SO4. So SO3 is definitely there. अगर आप देखो, even if you don't know the acid basis salt concept, you know कि NO2 भी यूज़ होता है नाइट्रिक एसिड फॉर्म में, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, even if it's not there, कार्बोनिक एसिड में यूज़ होता होगा. So carbon monoxide is the only thing, and moreover it's not even acidic. Okay, so this is a good question actually. I like this question. Identify the, I think you all should also just mark the questions that were good till now. I found this question good because this has a practical chemistry angle to it. Although chloride ion को देख के we have this set thing that AGS cell में चला जाएगा. So yes, that's there. यहाँ पर everything I found कि basic ही था. ठीक है, तो अब यहाँ चलते हैं. Identify the metallic oxide which is amphoteric. Calcium, this definitely. This is just based on memory. In even identify the role played by concentrated sulfuric acid. This is definitely an oxidizing agent. Yes, nitrogen gas can be obtained by heating ammonium nitrate. Let's just write ammonium nitrite, magnesium nitric. I don't know what magnesium nitric is, so we'll remove that for now. Ammonium chloride. So ammonium chloride gives NH3 plus HCl on heating, so this is gone. And if we see here, then it will give N2 plus 2H2O. And if we see this, it will give N2O plus H2O, 2H2O probably. So this is the answer because N2 is found here clearly. Which of the following is not a typical property of ionic compound? It has a high melting point. Yes, ionic compound will have a high melting point. Why? Because it has strong bonds. Conducts electricity in molten and in aqueous. That's also correct. They're insoluble in water. That's not correct. And they exist as oppositely charged ions. That's true. The metals zinc and tin are present in the alloy. So just remember, if you haven't watched my earlier short video where I explain how easily you can learn these alloy constituents, zinc and tin and copper is also there. Yes, copper is there. They have not mentioned copper in order to confuse you, because अगर copper पे तुम्हें बता ही दिया, then your mind will definitely go on brass and bronze, है ना, because copper is the main part of brass and bronze. So you just need to know this thing कि brass में there is copper, zinc, that's it. But in bronze there is copper, zinc and tin also. So bronze is the answer. This is a mole concept question. What volume of oxygen is required to burn completely 90 decimeter cube of butane under S similar? That's fine. अब इसके अंदर जब भी everything is a gas, so we'll write here 2V, 13V, 8V and 10V है, ठीक है. अब 90 decimeter cube of butane है चाहिए हमें ये. तो अगर 2 moles के लिए I'll not write, I'll tell you ऐसे ही. अगर 2 moles के लिए 90 चाहिए तो 1 moles के लिए 90/2 चाहिए, which is 45. अगर 1 के लिए 45 चाहिए तो 13 के लिए चाहिए क्या चाहिए, 45 into 13. लेट्स जस्ट सी कि इन्होंने यहाँ पर वैसे मैं कर लेती हूँ. चलो इसको मल्टीप्लाई. 5 3s are 15, 4 3 12, 13, 5 1 5, 4 1 4, 5 6 7 8 and this is 5. So 585 should be the answer. Yes, that's the answer. इन्होंने जो भी बड़ा बड़ा करा, let's forget that. This unitary method is the best. So we just found out कि एकदम से हमने क्या फटाफट कर दिया इसको. Vapor density of a gas is this. So vapor density से सबसे पहले हमारा क्या निकलता है, molecular mass निकलता है. Vapor density into 2 which is 16 now. 16 ग्राम हमारा molecular mass आ गया. What should be the, let's not put gram here because हम नहीं, we don't want to risk it. What would be the volume occupied by 24 gram of the gas? So if 16 gram, which is the molecular mass, will definitely get 22.4 liter because molar mass है 16 gram, so it will occupy this much only. तो 24 क्या करेगा, 22.4 over 16 into 24, इसके आगे तो हो जाएगा. Yes, this is what they did and they got the answer. चलो आगे चलते हैं. Vessel contains X number of molecules of hydrogen. How many molecules of nitrogen would be present in the same vessel? This is Avogadro's law, which says क्या कि at similar temperature and pressure conditions, equal volumes of all gases will have equal number of molecules. तो फिर which means कि यहाँ पर all conditions are satisfied, so nitrogen will also have X amount of molecules only. We are now at section B. Group number is given to us and second period something is given to us. In this table, H does not represent hydrogen. Some elements are, okay, let's forget this. Identify the most electronegative element. Okay, so I get what they are trying to do now. This is second period and this is third and this is fourth period probably. Which is the most electronegative ion? So तुम्हें पता होगा कि electronegative is on the extreme right and on the top because नीचे नीचे जाके electronegativity खत्म होती है. So I'll say J here. Yes, J is the answer. Identify the most reactive element of group 1. जो ग्रुप ये है रिएक्टिव सबसे ज़्यादा लास्ट वाला होता है. सो आर इज करेक्ट. आइडेंटिफाई द एलिमेंट फ्रॉम पीरियड 3 विद लीस्ट एटॉमिक साइज. पीरियड 3 फ्रॉम लीस्ट एटॉमिक साइज will be on the extreme end, which is M here. So M, yes, that's correct. हाउ मेनी वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर इन क्यू. सो क्यू का देखो, वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन्स के लिए हम हमेशा ग्रुप देखेंगे. इट्स 15th ग्रुप. यहाँ पर 1 वैलेंस, यहाँ 2 3 4, तो यहाँ पे 5 वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन्स होंगे. 5 वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन्स पूछे, पर अगर वैलेंसी पूछते दैट विल बी 3 बिकॉज इट विल बी 8 - 5, बट वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर 5 ओनली. विच एलिमेंट फ्रॉम ग्रुप 2 वुड हैव लीस्ट आयनाइजेशन एनर्जी. तो यहाँ देखो लीस्ट, अब आयनाइजेशन एनर्जी का ट्रेंड देखो, यहाँ पर जाते जाते इंक्रीज होता है, लिथियम की लीस्ट होगी. सो आई गेस हम एक सेकेंड, कहाँ लिखा हुआ है लीस्ट आयनाइजेशन एनर्जी, देव रिटन टी. I guess this is a problem because, okay, sorry, I'm really sorry. It's written group 2. I was looking at period 2. So in group 2, yes, definitely T will have least ionization energy because it's easier to lose an electron as we go down the group. है ना. चलो यहाँ देखते हैं, आइडेंटिफाई द नोबल गैस ऑफ 4th पीरियड. तो अब ये सेकंड है, ये थर्ड है, 4th पीरियड है. यहाँ पर जो नोबल गैस है, वी शुड नो दिस. नियॉन आर, दिस इज लिथियम, हाइड्रोजन, हीलियम, लिथियम, बेरिलियम, बोरॉन, कार्बन, नाइट्रोजन, ऑक्सीजन, फ्लोरीन. नियॉन, सोडियम, मैग्नीशियम, एल्यूमिनियम, सिलिकॉन, फास्फोरस, सल्फर, क्लोरीन, आर्गन, पोटाशियम, कैल्शियम तक ही हैं हमारे पास. ओके, सो सॉरी अगेन, वी जस्ट हैव टू टेल द अल्फाबेट. एक्चुअल वाला तो हमें भी नहीं, मुझे भी नहीं पता. इन द कंपाउंड बिटवीन ए एंड एच व्हाट टाइप ऑफ बॉन्ड वुड बी फॉर्म्ड. अब देखो ए और एच, ए और एच में डेफिनेटली इट विल बी अ इलेक्ट्रोवैलेंट कंपाउंड बिकॉज दिस इज मेटल, दिस इज नॉन मेटल, एंड वी हैव टू गिव अ फॉर्मूला. तो इसकी वैलेंसी देख लो, ए की वैलेंसी है +1 और सेकेंड है एच की वैलेंसी है 16, लेट्स जस्ट से 2 8 6 पे आएगा ये. सो इट्स अ 3 नेगेटिव वैलेंसी. सो आई गेस यस, सो 16 है ना. इफ इट्स अटोमिक नंबर इज, लेट्स से, sorry, if this is a 16 period, so it has 6 valence electron, which means it has a valency of 2, so it gives Al to H. Okay, so this is what we get here, not Al, it's just A. Okay, I'll just turn my mobile phone. Compare the compounds CCl4 and NaCl with regard to solubility in water. So CCl4 is a covalent, non-polar covalent, so it will not conduct electricity. NaCl on the other hand will dissolve in water and dissociate, ions will dissociate and electricity will be conducted. Let's see this. Choosing the substances, write balanced equation for reaction which would be used in lab to obtain the following salts. Because sodium जहाँ भी आता है, इट इज़ टाइट्रेशन, डेफिनेटली टाइट्रेशन, बट हमें यहाँ पर नहीं सोचना उसके बारे में. वी जस्ट हैव टू प्रिपेयर इट यूजिंग एनीथिंग वी वांट. तो ऑफकोर्स सोडियम बनाना है, सोडियम सल्फेट बनाना, सोडियम चाहिए और सल्फेट चाहिए. लेट्स सी व्हाट ऑल वी हैव इन सोडियम. वी हैव दिस, वी हैव दिस एंड वी हैव दिस एंड वी हैव दिस, and we have dilute sulfuric acid also. So this, we have this. So if we do Na plus H2SO4, Na2SO4 H2 is fine. If we add sodium carbonate plus H2SO4, it will, that's also fine. Na2SO4 H2O CO2. If we use NaCl plus H2SO4, then I am not sure actually कि यहाँ पर it will happen or not, because there is one problem. Usually when we use sodium chloride, we use concentrated HCl only. So most probably this will not be formed here because NaCl plus concentrated H2SO4 देता है हमें Na2SO4 और HCl. So this is a good question actually, because most people, what will they do? They'll think that this is concentrated and they'll forget that concentrated चाहिए होता है and they'll use NaCl with this, है ना. तो we'll just star it for like एक दिन पहले board से if you want to see. तो this is good. Otherwise we have just two options. Let us say कि इसको और इसको use कर लिया, ठीक है. Let's see other things also. Then we'll write equations. Zinc carbonate. Zinc we have, I guess, only one thing, and we have to produce carbonate. For carbonate we have these two things. ZnCO3, CuCO3, because only a higher element can displace a lower element, so we'll use sodium carbonate only here. So Zn, zinc nitrate plus sodium carbonate, zinc carbonate plus सोडियम नाइट्रेट. यहाँ देख लेते हैं कॉपर सल्फेट बनाने के लिए वी नीड कॉपर सल्फेट के लिए हमारे पास वी हैव ओनली वन थिंग. सो Cu plus dilute H2SO4 will not give us anything because कॉपर इज वे टू लो इन द रिएक्टिविटी सीरीज एंड डाइल्यूट सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड के साथ वो नहीं रिएक्ट करता. द ओनली डाइल्यूट एसिड इट रिएक्ट्स विद इज नाइट्रिक एसिड बिकॉज इट इज a strong oxidizing agent. So we'll have to do it with copper carbonate and dilute sulfuric acid. And last is iron sulfate, FeSO4. आयरन है हमारे पास ओनली वन थिंग वी हैव ऑफ आयरन, एंड SO4 की भी वी हैव वन थिंग ओनली, सो वी हैव जस्ट वन ऑप्शन, है ना. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ राइटिंग इट टू सेव टाइम, लेट मी जस्ट चेक द सॉल्यूशंस here. So yes, they have used sodium carbonate here, but I guess sodium will also be fine. For here they have used again sodium carbonate, and here as we thought that it will be copper carbonate, and the only option we had. Ammonium hydroxide is added to copper nitrate in small quantities and then in excess. What will happen if ammonium hydroxide is added to copper nitrate? It will give us ammonium nitrate and copper hydroxide. And copper hydroxide, when added in excess, it will form tetraamine copper hydroxide. So let's see if we have been given. Okay, so the reaction was not required. With small amount, a bluish white PPT is formed. Bluish white is given, and then in deep blue solution was formed. Ammonium hydroxide is added to zinc nitrate in minimum quantities, gelatin vibe, and dissolves in excess. लास्ट रिएक्शन देखते हैं. इट्स रिटन कि हमें चाहिए लेड नाइट्रेट क्रिस्टल्स आर हीटेड, तो क्या बनेगा, NO2 गैस बन जाएगी. दैट्स द ओनली ऑब्जर्वेशन यू नीड टू गिव. ये देखते हैं कॉपर सल्फेट, विच इलेक्ट्रोड टू योर लेफ्ट और टू योर राइट इज नोन एज द ऑक्सीडाइजिंग इलेक्ट्रोड. तो इसका आई नेवर लर्न कि कौन सा ऑक्सीडाइजिंग है कौन सा नहीं है. जस्ट नोटिस वन थिंग. सबसे पहले तो यहाँ लिखा हुआ विच इज़ एन ऑक्सीडाइजिंग इलेक्ट्रोड, सो यू नीड टू नो विच इज़ पॉजिटिव एंड विच इज़ नेगेटिव. सो इफ़ यू नो ऐसे होता है अगर, तो ये वाला साइड पॉजिटिव होता है, ये नेगेटिव होता है. दिस इज़ अ कैथोड, नो सॉरी, दिस इज़ एन एनोड एंड दिस इज़ अ कैथोड. ठीक है, दिस इज़ द वे. अब उसके बाद वी नीड टू सी एनोड पे अनायंस होते हैं. Anions are already negatively charged because they have gained. यहाँ पर आकर अगर वो मेटल बनेंगे तो they lose, तो this is oxidizing. यहाँ पर आएंगे metallic ions. Metallic ions have already lost. यहाँ पर आएंगे तो gain करेंगे, so it was reducing agent. तो oxidizing electrode is anode. So this left वाला है ना. राइट द इक्वेशन रिप्रेजेंटिंग द रिएक्शन दैट अकर्स एट कैथोड. यहाँ पर क्या होगा, CuSO4 है तो Cu2 पॉजिटिव कैथोड पे जाएंगे, क्या बनेगा, Cu2 पॉजिटिव प्लस 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स विल गिव यू Cu, है ना. यही है एट एनोड एन एनोड. ओके, सो ये थोड़ा सा गलत है बिकॉज दिस विल नॉट अकर एट एनोड. CuSO4 है तो ऑफकोर्स, and solution है, so we have SO4 2 negative and we also have OH negative ions to go to anode. So OH negative will go and oxygen will be formed. I'll just check in book, I'll show you in book because this seems to be wrong. तो आप यहाँ देख लो, here also it's given in CuSO4 anode पे oxygen form हो रही है. This is wrong. Okay, so state to appropriate observations for the above electrolysis reaction. तो फिर क्या होगा, कॉपर पहले ब्लू कलर का सोल्यूशन होता था बिकॉज कॉपर हैज़ नाउ गॉन टू द कैथोड, इट विल बिकम कलरलेस. ठीक है, और एनोड का साइज विल डिक्रीज. यस, सो दिस इज एन इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग टू नोटिस. कॉपर इलेक्ट्रोड्स यूज हो रहे हैं. ठीक है, ठीक है, देन दिस इज करेक्ट. This is totally correct because if here copper electrodes are used, then the copper will become an ion and get into the solution. So this is absolutely correct. I'm really sorry for that confusion. We have to observe. हाँ, तो anode का decrease होता है, cathode का increase हो जाता है, and there is no change in color because of course now it will be no change because copper ions are getting released. What is this? Let me just see. Normal electronic configuration, nature of oxides. दिस इज़ एक्चुअली अ गुड टेबल. ये देखते हैं. इन्होंने इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कन्फिग्रेशन दी हुई है एक सब्सटेंस की 287. सो इट्स एन हैलोजन. इट डिजॉल्व्स इन वाटर एंड टर्न्स ब्लू लिटमस रेड. ऑफ कोर्स इट विल बिकॉज इट्स एसिडिक. It is 2. This is an alkaline earth metal. It is very low solubility in water, dissolves in hydrochloric acid. Very low solubility in water. Okay, we have dash is the metallic element. And definitely why is a metallic element? पहली लाइन से पता लग गया. Metal atoms tend to have a maximum of dashed electrons in the outermost energy level. 10 टू मैक्सिमम ऑफ, अच्छा, थ्री इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, यस, 4 पे तो वो बन जाएगा, कार्बन की इक्विवेलेंट हो जाएगा, जो फिर होता है एक नॉन मेटल. नॉन मेटेलिक एलिमेंट्स टेंड टू फॉर्म डैश ऑक्साइड्स वाइल मेटल्स टेंड टू फॉर्म डैश ऑक्साइड. नॉन मेटेलिक फॉर्म एसिडिक and they form basic. Non-metallic elements tend to be bad conductors, poor conductors, and metals tend to dash electrons and act as dash agents. Metal tends to lose electron and act as reducing agents, है ना, बिकॉज अगर वो लूज कर रहे हैं तो उनके इलेक्ट्रॉन्स कोई और गेन कर रहा है, तो एज एन एजेंट दे आर रिड्यूसिंग समथिंग. Give balance equations of copper oxide using ammonia. This is a very important thing. So इसकी observation, if you want to know, copper is, which is a reddish brown metal, is deposited. Then we have oxidation of carbon with concentrated nitric acid. This is also very important. H2O NO2 CO2, ठीक है, CO2 H2O NO2. तुम तो इसकी या coefficient just remember this, ठीक है. सल्फर प्लस HNO3 में 6 HNO3 होता है, कार्बन प्लस HNO3 में 4 HNO3 होता है. डिहाइड्रेशन ऑफ कॉन्सेंट्रेटेड सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड विथ शुगर क्रिस्टल्स, ठीक है, ये यहाँ पर नहीं आएगा. दिस विल कम ऑन द एरो, ठीक है. दिस इज़ एन इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग. अब इसका अगर तुमने देना है ऑब्जर्वेशन, विल बी अ ब्लैक स्पॉन्जी मास ऑफ कार्बन इज फॉर्म्ड. कॉपी एंड कंप्लीट द टेबल. हेबर्स प्रोसेस, क्या होता है हेबर्स प्रोसेस में? वी हैव टू गिव द टेम्परेचर विच इज, टेम्परेचर इज टू अबाउट 450 डिग्री सेल्सियस. 450 डिग्री सेल्सियस इज द टेम्परेचर. कैटलिस्ट इज मोलिब्डेनम. एक्चुअली नो, दिस है यहाँ पर तो गलत है. द कैटलिस्ट इज आयरन एंड द प्रमोटर इज मोलिब्डेनम. लेट्स जस्ट राइट हियर 450 डिग्री सेल्सियस. तो N2 plus 3H2 at 450 degree Celsius gives us, in the presence of this, gives 2 NH3. And heat is fine, 22.4 kCl is not required. Name the other aluminium containing compound added to alumina and state its significance. Na3LF6, which is cryolite. Significance है कि it reduces the temperature of reducing the melting point of the solution from 2050 degree Celsius to 950 degree Celsius. देखते हैं यहाँ पर what is written. It reduces and it also increases electric conductivity. Reaction दे दो, explain why is it necessary to renew, because anode is attacked by oxygen, तो CO2 बन जाती है and it is renewed, it has to be renewed. Saturated hydrocarbon from iodomethane, a very important reaction from alcohol. This is wrong, it's 170 degrees Celsius. Unsaturated hydrocarbon from calcium, okay, this is fine. Alcohol from methyl bromide, ये तो कर लेना, very important. Isomer of N-butane, we can do it very easily. 2-propanol. Then diethyl ether is important. Diethyl, तो 2 ethyl हैं ether में. It can also be written as ethoxyethyl ether. Methane does not undergo addition reactions because it has all 4 covalent bonds are shared between carbon and hydrogen. Thus, the hydrogen atom can only be substituted. But in case of ethene, there is double bond which are under strain and can be broken down. Ethine is more reactive than ethane because it has a triple covalent bond. Ethane has a single covalent bond. So the strain in the bonding of ethine is far more than ethane, the count of reactivity of ethine. Then we have hydrocarbons are excellent fuels because they are highly combustible, do not have uncombustible content, are excellent fuels. O2 is evolved by heating KClO3 using MnO2 as a catalyst. ठीक है. Calculate mass of KClO3 required to produce 6.72 liters of O2.